You put people that fill in your deficits. So I mean, you got the creative direction that you want to go, and then you got people to actually help you out with all the
Right.
other stuff. Yeah, that's something I need to work on. I'm still a one man show, and I got the DanDanTheFireman thing. That's at least five videos a week after the ride. That's one podcast, but then I make clips out of it. I got my wife's podcast, so this is full
Holy
time.
shit, dude.
Yeah, I probably do in a week probably 20 plus videos. So I'm finding that happy medium I'm trying to find the happy medium of quality versus quantity, but then I'm
Yeah.
also trying to find what works and then what doesn't. So with the whole after action reviews that I do, that I took that from my fire service, where we would actually see firefighters fall through roofs and actually figure out why that happened and why these
Is that the series where you're like, you take a clip and then you talk about the clip and what went
Yeah.
down?
Yeah.
So I was watching a video of that this morning. That's solid. Because
You like it?
so
Good.
you're taking this is now my podcast. I've taken it over. I will
Go ahead,
interview
man.
you.
Let's do it.
No,
Let's
but I
do it.
watched that because, like, honestly, I'd never seen that before. And then I was watching you. You were breaking down. It was probably your most recent one because it was at the top. It was like a Harley skidding on a highway type situation. But what I loved about that is you're taking something that you're passionate about and is like part of you, and you're translating that to, like, so you have a passion level for that
Yeah.
most people don't have.
Yeah.
So you translating that to an audience that's where I feel like the key stuff is, right?
That's what worked. It's been working for a while, and
Right.
I think when that video came out, I was doing like 3 to 5 a week just to see
Right.
how it worked.
Yeah.
And once again, it turned into what you were talking about, and sharpen the blade. It's like, man, I did it for 3 months straight, great views. It was like 300% views for my channel.
Right.
For everything. I was like, man, it's just almost too much now. I love it, but I don't want it to be something that's a burden. So now I put it down to twice a week max.
Right.
But yeah, I took that from my fire service. I am passionate about analytical stuff and why things happen, how they happen.
Yeah.
And then using the knowledge I have with motorcycling as an MSF instructor, as an accident scene management instructor, and all these other things, like how can I translate that to my possible students that are listening
Right.
to it? And it's actually helped. I actually just filmed before this a video of somebody that sent it to me on Twitter, and he was saying that he's been watching my videos and understanding, okay, this is why you should have a following distance, this is this and this. And he sent the video, and he did an absolute perfect evasion of an obstacle or something that was in the road.
And now, how
Absolutely
gratifying is that for you?
Oh, that's
peak level.
It's not like I saved somebody some cash with like a gear review, which I absolutely love doing, but it's like, man, I just prevented this guy from crashing.
Dude, I can't imagine that, because I get a high when somebody sends me a message of like, man, I was having a really hard time depending on what bike I wanted to buy.
Yeah.
And I'm like, fuck yeah, I
Yeah.
helped. I cannot
Yeah.
imagine what that must feel like, of like, you literally could have saved somebody's life based
I'm
on the knowledge you gave them.
Super happy, and I just filmed my reaction to it, so people
awesome.
are actually going to learn from him, so he is going to know that he's helping somebody else out. So that's
Yeah.
huge to me. That's big.
Absolutely, dude.
Trying to solve people's emergencies are important. That's what I do.
Well, let me just give you a clap for the amount of content you're putting out a week. Jesus
I'm
Christ.
trying to slow it down. Like I said, trying to find what sticks.
Right.
Getting enough, because if I did one video a month, I mean, I have 12 videos that year to figure out what kind of worked. But if
Yeah.
I throw out this many videos, it's like, okay, this works. Let's remove this. Let's keep doing this. Do I like this? Like we talked about, it's good views, but
Right.
do I like doing it?
Right.
Not really, but I'll do it once a month then, because it's going to bring subscribers to see this stuff that I absolutely love to do.
Exactly.
So
Yeah. I mean, that's at a boiled down level, that's how I look at my channel. I look at first rides as the mass views, right?
Mm-hmm.
They see the most eyes see, and I hopefully bring to the channel. And then a small subset of those people could be interested in actually working on the bikes that they
Mm-hmm.
bought from the first ride. You can enjoy Wreck Bike Rebuild, and then a subset of a subset of a subset of those people will appreciate content enough to be like, I'm gonna go check out what you got on Patreon and see how much we're,
Yeah.
how much content we're putting out over there. But I mean, that process that you're doing, it sounds like it's just like, I've got a lot of things and I'm just going to throw them at the wall, see what sticks.
Yeah.
So the way that first rides happened was, first rides were just part of all the crazy shit I was trying.
Yeah.
And then when you see something working, as long as it fits within the, I enjoy doing this, it's helping people, which is the gratifying part for you, ideally.
Yeah.
If that starts working, then take out 2 of the pans that are in the oven and put them onto just that.
Yeah.
So, you have like, you have a pie, and you just start dedicating more of that pie to the things that are working, that you want to keep working.
Yeah.
And you get to a point where I feel like that's how you get to the point where that's what your thing is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because you've done it long enough to people know, like, depending on if your thumbnail strategy or whatever, but if it's always the same type of thumbnail, then and it's titled generally the same as all your other stuff, then, I mean, that's how you get to the point where you're known about something like that.
Yeah.
There was actually a scary point this last year. I was like, I realized that my first rides, I would always take a photo when I was at the dealership, and I would like, the bike would be about here, and then this would be the bike title. And then I was like, damn it, like anybody can have that thumbnail. Yeah. Like there's nothing I can, like, there's no differentiator from me from 1,000 other people that somebody could be doing a first ride on their motorcycle with just a GoPro. So I was kind of worried because for years I had been doing first rides and thumbnails the exact same. Mm-hmm. And I recently shifted to just grabbing a screenshot from the follow car because it's a high quality video. So I can grab a screenshot, but it's also a view that's very hard to get.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, we'll try it. Everything made sense, but when you have something that works and works so well, it is a little, you get a little worried changing stuff. I'm not worried about updating stuff, like adding in a sound check or something, because I'm giving somebody more content. But when you're talking about something as big as a thumbnail, I was like, bro, people are going to stop watching. It's that thing. It's that thing we were talking about it. Of like, you worry that you're going to fuck up some part of the chemistry and it goes away. Poof. Yeah. Nothing left. Yeah. It worked out well. Like the views didn't really, like, views do well on first ride, so the views didn't change. So I was like, sweet. So now I'm pleasing myself at this point. My videos look different. That was something that interesting that recently happened that worked out well. But if I were your coach, speaking in a coach way,
that'd be great.
I would say double down on the stuff that you feel is really authentic to you, that does well, because that's your fastest route to you carving out that like niche that you are. Because like we're all going to make all types of videos, but it is cool to have your own like anchor of content. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And that's what I'm finding out. I was doing the beginner tips, and that's the evergreen content. That was working great, but then it's like I'm just kind of saying the same stuff a lot of people are saying, but then I'm just doing it differently because I'm Daniel and they're this person.
Right.
But what is it that I can do that's unique? And I just kept falling back onto my fire service, and not a lot of people understand, the dynamics of that. So I'm like, okay, can I make that still within the beginner tips, beginner safety? And that's my biggest thing, because a lot of beginners are the ones that die. So it's like, that's why I focus on beginner riders. Usually within the first, I think, 6 months after getting your endorsement, that's when most of the crashes happen.
Oh my gosh.
And then I think within 2 months of taking an MSF BRC1 class, that people crash. It's because of the heightened confidence and all that research. Once again, I'm constantly diving into stats and whys and all that stuff. And so I stuck with what I know and my analytical brain, and I'm starting to figure that out. I'm starting to figure out to just focus on what I enjoy to do. The views will come because people will see how passionate I am about it. And I might lose the viewers that are here for tips, but I'm going to gain now these other people that are like, man, I really like the fact that I know why this person crashed, because I have no idea and I don't want to crash.
It's also going to be easier for you to make content. Yeah. Because if you're passionate about something, like, it's not going to take a lot of energy to be like, all right, got to make a motorcycle video so I can save people's lives today. Like, you're never going to feel like that. Yeah. Also, with the video analytics, you have endless content to use. That's one thing I kind of like factor into if I'm going to bring on like a show, like hardcore, like really focus on something I think about is like, okay, how long can I do this? So people are never going to stop wrecking motorcycles, unfortunately. So that shouldn't be a problem. And then bikes are never going to stop coming out.
Yeah.
You know, like companies are going to constantly be putting bikes out. So my stream of available videos to make is relatively endless. And that's the same way with those videos you're talking about. Like people are going to keep wrecking. So you're going to be able to keep showing. And the thing about a wreck is like, there's so many factors, I'm sure, for each wreck. So you could literally have 2 videos of the same type of wreck, but it's a totally different video because like these minuscule little things are happening.
I can post the same video of the same wreck, focus on the rider's mentality and what kind of led up to it, and then the next video I can focus on the actual physical. Well, the tire lost traction, and this is why.
Right.
I mean, there's just so much, and I'm learning to kind of focus on one thing at a time, because at the beginning I focused on everything that I possibly could, and it was like a 15-minute video, and people were like leaving. It's like, okay, I kind of, that's good, that's cool, I just kind of want to see them crash type of thing.
Right. But at least you're always gonna get that type of thing. But like I get the same thing on first rides. You know, I know based on my analytics that a ton of people click on first rides just to watch the bike, see the cinematics, they watch the sound check, and then they are gone.
Yeah.
And that's fine. If you're there to see the bike in a way that I typically show the bike off, then great. Like that's where you are. Then there's a ton of people that watch the rest of it.
I never thought of it that way. That's cool.
I mean, it happens. You know, everybody's going to watch a video for a different reason. People are going to watch your videos that you're breaking stuff down because they want to see some dude eat it.
Yeah.
And ideally, even for those people, they'll see that, be like, oh shit, I shouldn't slam on my brakes on the highway. Yeah. Even before you all say that, 'cause like, you know, they're going to watch the video or whatever. Yeah. But hopefully the small amount of consumption that they do will still help in some way.
Yeah, I think that's one of my biggest problems, is that I want to reach as many people as possible to prevent these types of things, when I should just focus on how to deliver the content. And if they like it and they take away from what, you know, the video they want to take away, then just leave it at that.
Right. I mean, checking out the analytics on those videos, I'm sure, is super helpful, because if you're like, you can literally see the drop off point for where you talk too much. You know, I'm assuming that happens.
Oh, it happens. You know, it happens.
I don't want somebody to watch this podcast or something and be like, why is Chase saying he talks too much? I'm saying that only because I've been in a situation where you can see where the views are chilling, and then they're like, okay, cool, I'm good. You know, type situation.
And that's going to happen in this podcast, but that's why I also do highlights.